and welcome to the Social Studies TEKS Overview training. The purpose of this training is to explore the Social Studies TEKS. While we address elements of the STAR program, the focus of this training is the understanding of the Social Studies standards. Now let's examine the agenda for the Social Studies TEKS Overview training. Please enter your first and last name on the name tag and click the Submit button to proceed. In Part 1 of this training, we will begin with the Introduction and Goals section, examine the text structure, identify changes in the Social Studies text, explore the Social Studies text, review the College and Career Readiness Standards and the English Language Proficiency Standards, and differentiation. The middle two sections that focus on the text will constitute a large portion of this training. Throughout this course, we have provided navigational and assessment tools to assist you with completing the course. Hover over each of the examples to view a simulation of each. Now let's examine the introduction and goals. Our objectives will include to acquire knowledge and skills concerning the new social studies text, to examine resources to assist in the implementation of the new text, and to increase knowledge of the college and career readiness standards, the English language proficiency standards, and differentiation. These icons represent materials and activities that are used throughout the training. Let's briefly examine each of these icons. The first icon, TEKS Essential Knowledge and Skills, or the TEKS. Then we have the College and Career Readiness Standards, or the CCRS, the English Language Proficiency Standards, or ELPS. We additionally have handouts and activities to accompany this training as well. Let's take this opportunity to meet and greet each other in Project Share. Click on the Project Share icon to the right and then proceed to log in to your Project Share account. You should have already received an invitation to join the Social Studies TEKS Overview online group. Once you've accepted, please go ahead and do the following. Go to the discussion board forum and click on the thread entitled Virtual Water Cooler. Introduce yourself with information such as your name, your Project Share contact information, the grade level or course that you teach, and why you chose to take the self-paced Social Studies Online professional development over the face-to-face or the facilitated trainings. In our next activity, we will study the words and phrases in the text to predict at which grade level the words or phrases first appear. The purpose of this activity is to expose teachers to the following: the numerous concepts in the social studies text, and the notion that the material spirals through the text. During this next section, we will focus on the organization and structure of the revised text. Your objectives will be to understand the law authorizing the text as well as the development, structure, and the location of the social studies text. So what do you know about the development of the social studies text? In this section, we'll be asking the following questions. What are the legislative and State Board of Education mandates for the text? Who is responsible for developing the text? And who approves and adopts the text? In this next activity, we'll come closer to answering those questions. Click on the Texas Public Schools Handbook to your left. In the table of contents, click on the timeline of historic events to locate the answers to the questions below. When you've completed each of the questions, go ahead and proceed to the next slide. The Texas Education Code is a set of laws governing public education and established by the Texas Legislature. As I read from Handout 3, entitled The Social Studies Text and the Law, you can follow along by rolling your cursor over the Texas Administrative Code to your left. You may also click on the document on your right to view Chapter 113, which outlines all of the social studies texts. The text for Social Studies, Chapter 113, and for Economics, Chapter 118, are required to be taught. The Social Studies program consists of elementary, middle school, and high school courses. Elementary courses cover various communities including home, class, neighborhood, and city. Elementary courses also include Texas history and United States history. Middle school addresses contemporary world cultures, Texas history, and United States history from the early colonial period through Reconstruction. The high school courses, which may be taught in any order, are United States History Studies since 1877, World History Studies, World Geography Studies, United States Government, and Economics. Social Studies also has 4 electives that can be offered in high school, and the order of high school courses is a district decision. To accomplish the goals in social studies, most courses are divided into 8 strands: history, geography, economics, government, citizenship, culture, science, technology, and society, and social studies skills. Economics and the electives do not include the 8 strands. The 3 strands in economics are economics, personal financial literacy, and social studies skills. Handout number 4, Social Studies Strands, is included for your reference. However, you may also hover over each of the icons to familiarize yourself with the strands. Locate the Social Studies text for your grade or course in the TEKS handbook on the right. You may also view an example by hovering over the phrase TEKS example. Let's look further into the organization and structure. The strand is Social Studies Skills. The Knowledge and Skills statement is in black text. The concepts can be found in the Knowledge and Skills statement and are shown in green text. The student expectations, or SEs, are below the Knowledge and Skills statement. The entire piece, Knowledge and Skills statement plus SEs, is one standard. Also notice the cognitive level of the verb or verbs. You will also notice this student expectation contains a such as statement. Some SEs use the word including. Statements that contain the word including introduce content that must be mastered. Remember, including does not mean limited to. You're encouraged to use additional examples when teaching the student expectations. Other SEs use the phrase such as. Statements that contain the phrase such as are intended as possible illustrative examples. All examples are eligible for assessment, and additional information will be provided for you on how they are assessed when we get to the STAR overview. Now let's take a look at two types of student expectations: content and skills. Content SEs contain specific information about one or more topics. They represent the majority of the social studies texts. The second type of SE is skills. Skills SEs are located in the social studies skills strand. They should be integrated with the content standards. So how did you do? Well, let's check your knowledge with a knowledge check.